back. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hakeem is running a little bit late, even though you see his icon there. He's running a little bit late. So anyhow, thank you guys for tuning in to KL Culture Radio. This is your man Ronnie Ron.
It's your boy New Jordan. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah. So pretty much right now, you already know this Jordan thing. This just Jordan does what he normally do. So I'm gonna let him go ahead and pop it off. So guys done so already. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and make sure to hit that notification bell button on the right hand side. And remember to click all. Okay, we never know when we go live, but we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. But today we're going live early because I have something I have to go to. So Johan, go ahead, do your thing.
All right, people. Hopefully we get everybody into the live. So it's this topic I really thought about a couple of days ago, and really thought about it and really kind of just like really thinking about it. And hey, I think y'all gonna like this one, especially for women and men in general, because I think how society is. I think we need to go back to the roots of how we can get together, stay, and all that type of stuff. So this is a topic, y'all see what it is, and this topic's about goes a little bit about relationships, long-term relationship and marriage, and how it could best work out. And I know we in our age, in our age, 30s and 40s, we used to watch a lot of Disney movies, from Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. And we all watch those type of movies, especially for the women. And we think that fantasy is the reality, and technically it really don't. Especially for the women, we think especially and the thing is, it really don't work like that. But I want to bring in another concept of a movie that everybody has seen. It's a big movie. It's a Pixar, and I'm gonna use that type of relationship and and how a marriage should work, and I'm gonna use that more reality. And this movie really hits on a reality of how it's just how relationship works, and how we can stay together. And this goes by everybody see the movie, and the movie is called Shrek. And I really thought about Shrek is because, everybody's seen the movie, with, Shrek, he wanted, somebody, the king came to us, in his area with his fairy tales, and he wanted to, get them out. So he made a deal with the king to find Fiona, and save her, and take her back to the king so they get married. Now, mind you, I'm really gonna like there's some details I'm really gonna give it to you, and y'all stick with me because y'all really gonna get it. So, the title is called Shrek at Best. The reason I went with this title Shrek at Best is because, majority of people, especially for the women, this is what else Shrek at Best is, especially for the women, majority of your relationship or your marriage is a Shrek. And I'm gonna break it down why I'm gonna say Shrek, and y'all follow me on this one. So with Fiona, she was she was locked up in the castle, waiting for Prince Charming to arrive. Her parents had told her that this is gonna happen, and this is how it's gonna be. And this is like the like I said, it's a fantasy thing. I wait for my Prince Charming to come. She's gonna be this, that, and da 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 da. Well, fortunately, as you know, it didn't work like that. The king, instead of the king going to save her, Shrek went to go to save her out of the ordinary. And the thing is, when Fiona found out it was Shrek, she said, "Oh, wait a minute, this is not right. This is not supposed to happen." But it changed like that. But then again, while Shrek and Fiona was going back, to the kingdom, all that type of stuff, Fiona and Shrek had, we say common interest. They agree about certain things. They basically had common interest with each other. They both had agreeable. They like this, they like that. So there was a spark there. And the reason I'm saying that is there's sometimes women may overlook somebody, might well, wait for the Prince Charming, what I mean by that is like you say, you gotta have, lots of money, cars, he has to be, well prepared at that and all that type of stuff.
Well,
Especially for Fiona, as she was born and raised in, the big castle family. She had all that type of stuff. But the thing is about it, later to the movie, she believed, this it would never work for Shrek because of, this is how it's supposed to be a push from my Prince Charming, get married, big castle, all that type of stuff. But the thing is about is that, sometimes, your person that you're looking for a long-term relationship or a husband, something like that, could be looking straight to your face. It could be the average guy, a friend or something like that. Sometimes I would say love can look you straight in the face, and sometimes women they don't realize that because sometimes women maybe oversee the common interest and to see that the common interest of what I'm trying to say is of does he have money, is he this and that. And I'm just talking basically of some women know how they look in relationships, especially when they hit 30s and 40s. And some women, I'm not saying all women are superficial because I know there's a lot of women out there that's not superficial. But basically, women has a high perk of looking up. If I get paid this amount, they're gonna look at that amount or more because they kind of expect more. But the thing is, with Fiona, longer into the movie, she didn't suspect that. Even though she had a secret until she found out to the end that and now she turned so ogre. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is that Fiona is like a perfect prototype of how she looked at common interests, how she looked at a person, instead of not following the story of trying to find true love and Prince Charming, all type of stuff. And the reason I'm saying this is Shrek is probably one of the movies. It's not a Disney movie. I think it's a Pixar movie that kind of what modern relationship works in the real world. Fiona Shrek is probably one of the out of all the movies that are out there, the Disney movies, probably one of the perfect movies of how average people work out. Average people work out. A woman might have high status and Shrek is here. But the thing is like Fiona kind of realized like, hey, I'm happy with Shrek. I think I'm in love with Shrek, and really didn't look at him as an ogre. Really look at him who he was, who Shrek really was, as a person. He knows how to cook. He has his own house. It's not like when Fiona was living in, but it's a house. He's protective of his house. That means Fiona can see that he showed protection and everything. So Shrek was a really basic type of ogre that that had the basic stuff that he needs to be a husband. Shrek has the basic stuff to be the husband. He didn't like a lot of people. All he do is go out, work, protect his area and do all that. And so when Fiona saw that, that's when at the end, Fiona and Shrek expressed their true feelings on each other, and then they got married. So what I'm trying to say is, the concept is, there's a basic average guy who's out there, who's a Shrek, who does all those things. But sometimes women may not see those things because they don't look at a common interest first, and maybe also how he looks, looks wise, like maintenance wise, all that type of stuff. But the thing is, Shrek is probably like I said, the ogre, or you can say person. Shrek can reflect on what an average man is out there today. Try to do what he need to do. Make his money. Do what he need to do. Do what he need to do. To survive, protect himself, and also live on. So what I'm trying to say is, most average men is a Shrek. Most men it's not these Disney's fantasy men that we see out there. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, the majority of men that's out there whose average workers are Shrek, you know, and they have good qualities, into that person, like I said, Shrek has good qualities, and the average man they have good qualities, They might not be 100% and not be 90% and not be 80%, but they still have good qualities in themselves. No matter their 20s, 30s, 40s, and whatever, they have certain type of quality what they can do, that a woman that can see to have a successful relationship or long-term marriage. So, right, I'm gonna pass it to you. What you think about it, or how my model dog, or what you see, like how the Shrek film kind of relates to the real world, or how a relationship or average relationship should go by.
When it comes to the story of Shrek, it showed you the whole aspect of See, the Shrek story is actually kind of confusing because it makes sense, but it kind of don't make sense at the same time. Because when it comes to the Shrek story, you had a princess who her whole idea is to get a Prince Charming, but then at the end of the movie, you seen that the Prince Charming didn't really come as the way she expected. So it kind of give you the pretty much the sum of things when it comes to women and on a whole aspect of how they think. Women are taught today that one day they're gonna get a fairy tale story. So they're gonna get that Prince Charming that's gonna walk up to him, that's gonna marry him, give him a 6-figure wedding, that's not gonna be the case. So it's just it's just a real concept. But at the end of the day, I think women gotta realize that they gotta settle, that Prince Charming ain't gonna be a Prince Charming, that you might get the Joe down the street, or the guy that you normally don't look at. He might be your one that you might build your future with. But a lot of women gonna backlash that because like, no, because if I was taught to pray and to intercess for this type of man, I should get that type of man. That's not how necessary how life works. So, but I do want to know how King's take on it on that whole aspect of Shrek.
When Jordan brought the idea, I haven't really thought about it, but then when I said to myself, he has a point. And a lot of people need to take away from movies and stuff because it does give a reality check. Now, normal person meets normal woman and they have the best life most than everybody. That's what the whole movie tells you about, which we can see that in real life daytime. Normal person, he goes to work, he works at the steel yard, his girl's a dental hygienist. Extremely well. Now, here's the thing. 8% of the population is extremely beautiful. 8%. We're talking about the prettiest of the prettiest. And I'm talking about over the world. You feel me? So now, those 8% are going to get with other 8%. So just decrease that by small. Just a way of getting somebody who has a lot of money. That's a small percentage. And then you got to deal with what a lot of money people bring to you. I'm blessed if I get a regular woman today. An average woman today. Is she average to me? She's above average. I'm average. And a lot of people need to understand, if you're able to get a woman or a man to be in your life, you should be happy. That's heaven sent. A lot of people don't have courage to even go talk to people. A lot of people are introverts. Some people stay in the house. You got some people who are virgins up until they die. Some people don't get no sack. Some people are beating up meat. So when I look at that, when I look at the Shrek, I want a Shrek life. I don't care if you work at Checkers or Rallies. Let me know if you agree with me. You want to have fun. You're not into the Joneses. You just want to live a good life. Wake up in the morning. We save our little money and take our two trips a year, what we can afford. And if I can afford to get your hair done, I'm going to pay for it. If I can afford to get you a new car, I get it. That to make you happy. That's what regular people do. And Shrek gave her a life when she was in a good life. Her regular life was even more. She's a mother with kids who look up to her. She's constantly have something to do because she's a part of a family structure. And not only that, when you get married and you start having kids, you become a family. Now you become part of a community because your name is a part of a community. And now you're an intricate part of this. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion. I love the concept. I thought this was a good concept to preach to women of that. I don't want people to look down, and I'm gonna try to be quick about it, at say that you're settling. You're not settling. You lucky that person got you. You couldn't get the 8%. And if you got the 8%, you got them to bed you, not to wed you.
I got a question for you guys. Do you think women use the word settling, overuse the word settling a lot, and it kind of dismissing of finding what they need to be to find a long-term relationship or marriage?
Well, most people have an overinflated evaluation of themselves most of the time. You're not, if we look at this as the NASDAQ, you're a penny stock. You're not an EFT. You're not a mutual fund. You're not a blue chip. You're a regular stock. So, and sometimes, depending on what your status is or what your situation, you're going to overinflate. So, getting somebody lower than you or what you perceive might be lower, yes, you perceive that as being settled. I think it's a horrible word. I think it's very disrespectful to the mate that you get to. I think it's disrespectful to people who you spoke to. I think that everybody who comes into your life is a blessing, regardless of what their economical or social status is. You know what I mean? Every woman I've ever been with, they were blessings to me, regardless of where they came from. They enhanced my life. It just didn't work out to the point where we got married. That's just the point. But as far as that, they're good quality. I didn't settle for them. I thought that in my mind, I thought that I got lucky, and I thought that I had gotten a high priced item.
No, yeah, but it's true. Like, it's true. When it comes to Shrek situation, it makes you think on the whole aspect of that people don't really know what they actually want at the end of the day. So that was it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to even think about it. So what's your take on it about, Jordan?
Hey, I thought about it, and I think I mean, even though, you know, with Shrek, you know, I just want to put out the basis of how, you know, somebody that's higher and lower, and how Fiona, you know, kind of forget about, you know, what people's telling her to do, and kind of finding out, you know, what's she's saying to her heart, you know, and she felt like she didn't settle when she liked Shrek, even though this, you know, in the second movie she had a second chance to get that, you know, Prince Charming again, and she really did, but the thing is, she didn't want it. She was happy with Shrek. She was, you know, she liked all the necessary traits and skills that Shrek had. She did not like what Prince Charming was. He was just a pretty face and all that type of stuff, whatever. He didn't have the skills what Shrek do. You know, Shrek was a protector. And I feel like when a man likes a woman, you know, really, really likes a woman and interested, he's gonna build that, you know, that protection for a woman. He's gonna find a way to protect that woman. Definitely to do. And yeah, like I said, I think Shrek is one of the perfect movies that of how, you know, an average relationship should work, you know, and not looking at, you know, selling for somebody, but just look like it's that person's right for you. Do y'all have a common interest? You have a common interest of what y'all like. And the thing is, y'all gonna talk. And the thing is, y'all gonna talk about future with each other about, you know, what's your goals in the next 2, 3, 4 years. You know, I mean, an average life is not bad. I think about average life. It's like, you know, living in a 2, 3 bedroom house, maybe a 4 bedroom house. You know, don't have to be living in the suburbs. That's average life. You know, having a good car, like a GM car, you know, car that's worth between $30 to $40 to $50,000, and also, you know, find an area find an area that best fits for both of y'all, and you know, if the money's right, just go for it. You know, I really feel like, you know, Shrek is one of the movies that kind of say, hey, you know, this is how it works, but not the other Disney movies. You know, they find it Prince Charming because, like I said, Hakeem said, is that it's only 8% to get those, and usually the 8% get those. So it's after that, it's very, very few men who sometimes maybe look down, try to find somebody. It's very, very few of them.
It's funny you say that. Let me ask you a question. How about how about when people say that, oh, shoot for the stars, or go for the moon and stuff like that? You know what I mean? You have a lot of women who feel like, oh, I can't, I got to manifest this. I got to manifest the type of man I want. I got to manifest this. Do manifestation work? That's my question.
That's a good question. I feel like manifestation is overly used. You know, I feel like, you know, manifestation works with like in your career. But my thing is, you use the word manifest in a relationship, but what type of skills do you have? Are you building your skills up to find that person? I just feel like, you know, some women said I'm manifesting, but they're not, how can I say this? They're not fixing themselves or preparing themselves so they can find a true mate. They're just saying that to just find the right guy, that fantasy guy. Usually if I manifest this, that fantasy guy will come to me. Instead of manifest, I'm gonna say not manifesting. I'm doing the work to actually doing the work for yourselves and actually trying to find that person.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I feel like manifestation could be used as for fantasy in a way. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely understand. I think that when a person is screaming manifest, I also look at it from a point of saying, okay, you're manifesting, but you can manifest what you want, but that's not exactly what you might get. I can manifest for gold, and I might get half a gold piece or 2 silvers. You know what I'm trying to say? It's a constant. You just have to be realistic. And that's the point that we will want. That's the point that we will want a lot of people to be under. But it's hard for people to want to be realistic because they say that, hey, I got to be able to love myself. I got to be able to get what I want. Oh, I mess with too many crab dudes. I need to get the kind of man that's gonna love me. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And then you said it. Go ahead.
I want to say about loving yourself. If you already love, my thing is about this. If you love yourself, you should be ready to love somebody else.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't get this. I need to start, you know, self-love and all that type of stuff. I mean, in case you're very, very insecure, to find somebody that loves you, and this is why 2 parent household is there. That's why a father is definitely needed. Definitely needed. Because I feel like, you know, a lot of women who's raised in single parent house, like single mother households, you know, they're missing that type of man who, you know, who can give them that validation. Who's you know, who, even though he might not be there every day, or you might see him 3 or 4 times a week if you guys like separate all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
A man will have that power to validate that daughter and build that self-love and know how to, learn how to love a man and also to learn how to respect a man as well.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. But yeah, man, go ahead.
No. I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I was just agreeing with you, man. It's just that, man, I wish you would go back to the old days, man, when people were just happy just to be happy and happy to just to be with somebody.
Yeah.
And be able to spot a lot of things. Because, people who ain't shit was by themselves, and the people who needed to be with people was together. And they were cultivating relationships. They were living lives. They were taking trips. A lot of people was married. You know what I mean? A lot of these kids were born in the houses. But now everybody think they can get what they want, but they sleeping all with the same person. And
the crazy thing about that is, we live in an era that's a whole lot of information that's out there. It's on our tablets, on our phone. There's a whole lot of information we can just tap in and bam. But unfortunately, we're still lost in a way. We're still lost, and that I don't get.
Whew, Jesus, that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. You know what I mean? We was warned for this. We had our second coming of Christ. Y'all know his name. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And he was warning us about the apocalypse of relationships prior before that. I don't know if you remember when me and you talked about this the other day, but Goldman Sachs had an article where they says 43% of women are going to be single in 2023. 43% of women. That's a lot of unsingle women. That's a lot of single women. So you're talking about Medicare, Social Security is going to be hemorrhaging. These services were not meant to handle this many people, because you usually would have a husband, his pension, some funds, some property that was shared together, kids, you know what I mean? There'd be a plan, and this is the plan that Shrek has. And mind you, here's the funny thing. Shrek probably would have went off and got another ogre.
Yeah.
So that's the point that I'm saying. Like, the question is, what are we going to do as people to get to the point where we are putting ourselves in a situation where we're putting ourselves in a situation where we are just being able to getting to finding that person. I can't even say finding that right person, because a lot of people misconstrue that statement. You feel me? Finding somebody you can just coexist with.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all could just go about this life mission together. I mean, that's my question, because honestly, Jordan, if you like, and this is why I say God is so blessful that you were able to find your wife, because in all sincerity, you probably would have just been here like us.
Yeah, and I tell you this, Hakeem, my wife is the first person who went over the 6-month mark. Meaning, usually I break up with women at 6 months. My wife was the first person that I had that went over that 6 months. After that 6 months, that's when I was like, okay, she gotta meet one of my family members. And to be her, I was in Miami. She met my uncle who was living there. And I don't know, it was just like natural. You know what I'm saying? It's just after that, it's like, oh, I feel so comfortable. Now I feel comfortable with her. Okay, I want to show her out.
There's a key thing to that. That also shows the status of the type of woman she is. Because let me tell you something. If she was other than that, it wouldn't have went to where it at.
Nope.
And if you wasn't the man who you is, it probably wouldn't have went farther than that. So that's why I say it works well that when God put people two together, that's supposed to be together.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? And y'all was in your right mind to know that y'all, when y'all meshed well, this was a situation that was going to be beneficial for both of y'all to be together. She enhances you, improves you, you improve her. This is all we need. But the thing about it is if we can deviate from the social media and start focusing on our mind and what our heart wants, we can get to that point.
Yeah.
We can get to that point. I wish Nikki Baby was here because I would ask her, do you know what a Proverbs 31 wife is? Do you know what Ephesians 5 man is? You know what I'm saying? Listen, this is what they used to talk about in the old days, cooking, cleaning. Listen, some women who are successful now, they would crave to cook and clean for a man now. They would die just to wake up in the morning and say, oh, girl, Sharpies, what you doing? Well, I'm cooking Johnny Boy breakfast here. Girl, you not at work? I called out today. I'm cooking breakfast for my man. Just the same way we get an dopamine when we see our girl come hop in a new truck you just bought her. You know what I'm saying? We get money. Money's nothing for men. It's what it does for the people who we care about.
Mm-hmm. That's totally true. That's totally true. And the thing is, it's like when a man wants to really likes a woman and wants to do what he needs to do, he's gonna make some type of money. He's gonna get like if he can't find something, he can't get a raise or a bonus, you're gonna get a second job.
Yeah.
Like I said, men will work. If you like somebody, they'll make work. They'll definitely will work.
Preach.
And they'll work hard.
Preach.
Oh. But yeah, man, I really feel like, Shrek should be pushed out more to see, but I feel like people don't see Shrek as that to see,
No, but the beautiful thing is the fact that you was able to look at that movie and was able to break it down is astonishing. And this is the point. Our minds got to be open to, so we can start giving people examples of what it is. The problem is, I don't want to say it, man, because I don't want people to think I'm biased. Like, it's black people that have an issue with this. And I'm not saying whites, Asians, and stuff are not money getters and stuff like that, but a large percentage of them understand their place and understand who their mate, the art of mating. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. That's true.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of us that have an issue with, like, and mind you, the only reason why I'm speaking like this because, you know what I mean? When you only date black women, this is only what you got to go by. I don't know about any other race. I know that majority of women I meet are very materialistic, are very career driven. They want you to have more than them. Even if they make more than you, they want you to have more than them unless you meet somebody that's really on your level. And people don't understand when I say that level, be like, oh, what do you mean by that? I'm just saying meaning to the point that a person who appreciates just you as a person and willing to build with you.
Yeah. And another thing about being on somebody's level is it also about a reason why I see his level is what qualities do you have? How is your qualities? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I think like, when women, they think about level, they think about status. And that's a wrong way to look at it. It should be quality over status.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, but what makes it worse is that, people look at status by looking at social media, and that's what get them going.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem. That is a big problem.
Tell me about it,
sir. Ronnie still in and out?
You must stay wrong.
Mm.
Yeah, man. Oh man, it's been a long day, boy. A long day.
Mm.
And that's the thing, people.
Oh, and I want to say this, and I'm gonna go by the men too. I feel like when men they have problems. I feel like some men they have problems of seeing quality women as well by looking at some red flags that they might overlook. And I think a man has a hard problem looking at what type of quality woman they're looking for. And but I'll tell you this: there's some people that, well, you know, Roddy knows, and people that I'm close with, you know, when they see my wife, you know, they see what type of quality that she has, you know.
Yes. Yes.
They definitely see like, like I said, Jordan, they always told me you're lucky, Jordan, you're blessed because, you know, my wife, she's a, high quality woman, you know.
Very.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
And that's when I seen her, but before I was messing with her, I was messing with this one chick, and it didn't go well because she was kind of crazy. And then when I looked at my wife, she just had the basic qualities. She was nice, smart, easy to talk to. No shame, no insults, don't talk back, or do all that type of stuff. And I it was just like natural to seeing that, but now look at it now, it's like, yo,
No,
I really saw that, not knowing that was the right thing to do, or seeing that was the right thing to do.
I think you made the best decision ever. I think that you mentally was prepared. You understand the assignment, you understand the assignment, and you potentially are going to do something a lot of us might not ever do. Be in a fulfilling relationship because you made the choice of being with the right person. You know what I'm trying to say? A lot of us,
I hear you.
A lot of us are going to die alone. Because you want to know why? Deep down inside, a lot of us are shallow. A lot of us got these views or these wants that can't be met because we're average people. Average people can't go to the market and say, hey, let me get a pack of creme de la creme when you only got $6.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of potential good women out here. We hold them, we judge them and don't. Like it's a point, like I had a homeboy who had a good woman that he could be with. And he had judged her by the way she looked. But she had everything going: smart, funny, intelligent, this and that. And then I asked him, I'll say, you want this, but you don't even fit that category to get these type of people. Why don't you want to get her? I just don't want to. I just don't want to. I just want what I want. And this is what women say too. I want what I want. You gonna get what you want. On the Kendrick G show, the comedian. What's the comedian name? The chubby comedian dude, the black dude. He does comedian.
Oh, is it the one that passed or no?
No.
Oh, Corey. Oh, Corey.
Yeah, he's real.
5150. Yeah,
not him. Another. Matter of fact, Corey was beefing with him.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know. Shoot.
He used to do. He do the the jokes on Facebook. He'd be in his bathroom like this by a window.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I forgot his name. I know what you're talking about. Go
So
ahead.
he was on the Kendra G show. So a girl went on there and said that was like, hey, this dude thought he was cocky. This dude, she was blasting him. He thought it was cocky. He had wanted to sleep with me without a condom. And the girl was like, girls, be careful about who you deal with, people who got money, because they are very arrogant.
Yeah.
Think about it.
That's why a lot of women are lost, because they think they think about something that's high or the type of stuff, but they don't see the downside of it. They only see the good, but they don't see the bad of it. Because they just, like you say, because they just want what they want, but they don't know why they want it so bad. They just want it.
Tell me about it.
But yeah, man, it's just like, hey, being here for 4 years, and I can still tell you, I can't find nobody else that's our skin complexion that's married. You know, I've been in LA for 4 years and I still can't find nobody.
Wow.
Yeah, especially in our age group, it's like, it's like, are we going to, in our black community, are we going to extinction with marriage, yo?
Nigga, you better say that again. Some of these chicks in our age group don't even want to have a baby.
Yeah, that's true.
You see what I'm saying? From 25 and up, some of these say I want to travel overseas. Okay.
Yeah, but and usually when you and the thing is about women that's traveling, you know, you should be doing that with your partner, because if you're doing all that type of stuff, you know, you already did the stuff now. Because women, I'll tell you this, with women, they like to have fun, they like to go travel, all that type of stuff. Yeah. They love to, you know, to go out and just have fun, all that type of stuff, especially with travel. Not knowing, you know, life is not about fun all the time. You know, sometimes, you know, it's, you know, especially in a relationship, it could be hard work.
Yep.
And some women, they just don't want to work hard. They just think it's just supposed to happen. But there's work in it involved, so you can get to that level. But it's like, okay, cool. This is, you know, kind of a, you know, piece of cake. You know, I know my husband, I know my wife, I know my boy, I know my girl. You know, I know what to do, I know what not to do, and you know, simple as that. And you know, it's really like the common stuff. And you know, here, 2023, a lot of people, they're not so common.
No. You're right. Common, you see, common, like, I think that the issue is social media tried to make us think we could just reinvent the wheel. Like, common people are where it's at, though. Like, to be able to sit here and relate. And this is why we still got small, quaint towns where there's small bagel shops and people from around the way. There's a unique feeling and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, people are generally who they are. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and that's my thing about that. You know, like, I just want to be. Even if I was to get rich, I want to be regular and be with a regular woman.
I feel you on that. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way as well. If I get rich, get my money in. Like I said, for me, I'm always about family. You know, I don't care how rich
sorry, guys, man. My phone, my computer. Oh my God! I promise you, I really think it's restrained. I really think that John's driving me crazy. literally, I have no issue in any other platform but Restream. Even StreamYard or freaking Zoom. I really think it's Restream. It's crazy. The audio, everything is just acting up. Terrible platform. But yeah, so I pretty much missed the whole conversation, but I kind of heard you guys because I was logging into YouTube, so I kind of heard everything I was saying on the whole aspect of the dating market, and some people gonna die alone. Yeah, Hakeem, I did saw that episode with Kendra G and the guy. No, it was a woman. She said how she dated a guy that was on Kendra G show, but the guy that was there, he was acting like, oh, I wasn't talking to her, I wasn't dating her or anything like that. It was just kind of weird to hear that from a guy and say, hey, you was not on the date. I think guys today are afraid to have any form of relationship with a woman. My point of view. And like Jordan said, I think the dating, remember I always talk about this all the time. I think the dating market today is trash. Complete trash. That's just my opinion. It's complete trash, and I think it's a waste of time. To me, I think it's just a money grab for women to get off men. Sucker men. That don't know any aspect of dating. What y'all guys think about that? Because if you notice in the Shrek movie, Shrek didn't really date Fiona. They were just literally hanging out and they connected with each other. But it seemed like today, you got to take a girl out to a 5-star restaurant to have a great time. What's your guys' take on that?
And the thing about that, Ronnie, back in the day, when we talk about 5-star restaurant, we talk about Red Lobster, TGI Fridays, Ruby Tuesdays, and all that type of stuff. That was a 5-star restaurant. Especially now this generation, it's like, you gotta get the best steak, the best lobster. If you ain't lobster, that's you're not with it. But the thing is, going out to eat, I don't think a lot of people don't know. Going out to eat is a luxury thing. That is for luxury. You should really do is really a good meal is cooking at home. That's where the good meal's at.
Preach.
And especially if you're in a relationship, good food is at home. Going out to eat is a luxury. I don't care if you're going out to Ruby Tuesdays, TGI Friday, that is still a luxury. That is totally still a luxury. And how the dating market is with all this high luxury stuff, it's not the real dating.
Yeah.
But do y'all think would the dating market ever change? Will people really have a story like Shrek and Fiona? You think that's gonna ever happen in this modern time?
I'd say a good 5%.
Yep.
95%. Oh nah.
Well, we got a comment. On. It's actually my cousin. He's on my Facebook. He said we're living in lies now, bro. That's what he said. We living like he really commented. I think you probably got to see on my Facebook. He said people have been dating, bro, from the beginning of time. Some people are more genius when it comes to money, but others, when the money, with the money wasn't their prime, wasn't their prime focus. People have been dating, bro, from the beginning of time, which is true. People have been dating, bro, from the beginning of time. People are more genius when the money wasn't the prime focus. That's true, though. When money was do y'all agree with that?
100%. B is he's right on target. I think that
he is.
I think that when you're in a situation with that, let me ask you a question. Go to third world countries. Why people still having kids? People are married in third world countries. They're not married. It's about the character of a person when there's no resources involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the issue is the aspect of we live in a Western society where capitalist is at the finest. Like that's what they focus on is capitalists. So everything here has to be marketed. So that's also with dating. Like prime example, every Valentine's Day you're gonna see they talk about K jewelry. You gotta get your wife the K jewelry on every Valentine's Day, and you gotta get your girl the K jewelry. You gotta give it to her because she's gonna fall madly in love with you. That's not even the case because overseas they don't even celebrate Valentine's Day.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah. Yes, that's very true, Ronnie. People don't celebrate Valentine's Day, and the thing is with Valentine's Day, like I said, they gotta go with K. But really much the thing is, it's like basically You know, get your spouse a simple card, candy, balloons, and call it. And you can call it a day. You don't need it, and you probably don't need to go out of it. You can save money on something else.
I really think at the end of the day, though I keep telling people, I don't think it's all about love. I think it's more about respect and to compliment each other. Because that's the only way we gonna grow as people, as couples. If we have that mutual respect for each other, and then let that love grow naturally. But the problem is we don't even have that nowadays. People right now, they more focus on who gonna pay my light bill than someone like, okay, who am I gonna actually have a family with, like Shrek and Fiona. But we don't live in that society today at all. But I want to ask you too, Jordan, because you are married. But back then, what was your main objective of getting married? What made you think that way? Like, hey, you know what? I want to settle down and get married.
Well, I didn't really think about marriage until probably the 5th or 6th year, till the 6th year until I proposed. I'll say the first 5 years, it was really much being in Miami, really just finding an apartment and really work it out. And the thing is, the one reason I think about marriage the first 5 years is I just felt like if that relationship didn't work out, there's other options out there. But the thing is like, I know myself, like I said, I always thought about, moving to California, because before I moved to Miami, I always want to go to, move to California. As a matter of fact, I got accepted to a school out in Berkeley, which is in the Bay Area and everything. My original plan was go to school there, find me a chick from Oakland, I guess because that's where, most of the black people live in Oakland, find somebody and find a girl there, working out and, get married and everything. That was my original plan. But at the time, my mom said it was too far. That's why I was to Miami, And at the time when I was in Miami, I definitely had like a marriage mindset at the time because, because Miami is just, it's
get in where you fit in.
Get it where you fit in, and there's a lot of distraction in Miami. So going to Miami, I was just right there. I can tell you that. I knew that, I wasn't going to marry somebody in Miami or, living in Miami. So when I had that mindset, I was like, okay, cool. I think, Miami's done. Let's look somewhere else. Because at the time, the 5th to 6th year, that's where me and my wife was like thinking about moving to, a different state and everything. And I knew when I was gonna move to a different state, it's not like Atlanta or LA. I wasn't gonna get distracted how I was in Miami. Knowing that, Miami's very, very distracting. I ain't gonna lie, it's very, very distracting to me. That's why I say I gotta get out of here, in order to do all that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Why would you say Miami very, very distracting? Why you say Miami very, very distracting? Miami's not very, very distracting.
I'll tell you this, Ronnie. I was born and raised in Michigan. In Miami, it's a lot more scared down in Miami.
Yeah.
My Michigan is 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So it's a whole, like I said, a lot of beautiful women around the world. They move to Miami. They don't go to Michigan or Detroit or that type of stuff. So that's why I say for me going to another side of Miami, it's like it was to see something new. Miami's melting pot. This experience so much to think. Because I would say Miami was probably maybe a little bit overwhelming, especially going around, going down my early 20s and everything. So when I thought about, okay, cool, moving to another city, which kind of like I said, I want to move to California. I kind of knew it's like, okay, I knew, LA, what's going to be very, very distracting to me. I'm always going to, living in a big city, it's going to push me to do what I need to do. Because
but Jordan, let me ask you a question. Do you think LA is worse than Miami? Because LA, now you're dealing with more celebrities, more stars than Miami. Miami, you probably see them once in a blue moon, but LA, you could go down Beverly Hills, bomb. Especially downtown LA.
I'll tell you this. LA is a little bit more bigger than it is in Miami, and also the traffic's bad too. So living in LA, I'll tell you this: Miami is a little bit more. It's definitely more distracting here than it is in LA. There are some beautiful women here and there in LA, but it's not like in Miami. Like I said, I might spot a beautiful woman. If I go downtown, I might spot beautiful women, every 3 or 4 blocks. If I go down to South Beach or something like that, or Brickell, they're every block. They're everywhere.
Nigga, you just go to the supermarket, you'll see something bad down there.
Exactly. And there's some women that's like 8, 9, and 10s who are waitresses.
Yep.
I don't see a lot of this in LA like that. And that's where there was a difference of that. And also, I'm 32 now. I'm more mature. Now being married. I'm focused on my family and just build on that type of stuff. And also, me being young as well. This learning. Just learning. And I'll tell you, I learned a lot. Even though, moving out of Miami, I learned a lot of Miami. Like I said, Miami, it really kind of built me up to being a man I need to be.
Well, I do agree with you on your sentiment when it comes to the aspect of Miami. I think Miami is, some people do meet people here and do get married and do have great lives. But most of the time, I think Miami is like a place that you just come, do your thing, and not really settle down with. Because I think the average people in Miami really don't get married. Now they have kids, but they really don't get married. Now, if people looking for that Shrek story and that Fiona story, you better not come to Miami. You better go South Carolina, like them country towns, because they marriage rate is much higher than what it is in Miami.
Yeah.
Preach.
And I always tell people that there is some great black women, especially in those countries. You will find the black woman that man be acting about, the one that cook, clean, make sure you take care of, make sure they hands over heels over you. You got to get him in the country. And my cousin told me the same thing, because he travels a lot, and he told me the same thing. Like he be like the girls in South Carolina is different from the girls in Miami.
That is true. And I'll say this: usually, southern states they're probably the last resort of them being traditional. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people live in the South, they're very I could say they're traditional.
Yeah, so you're telling the truth. Just think about it from this point. How often you gonna run into somebody if you're in like Greenville or Fairfield, North Carolina?
Not often.
Here, all I gotta do is just, when I get off of work, I go to the gas station. You can see something bad pulling up.
Exactly, correct. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Listen, I went to Costco's today. I seen nothing but bad chicks just in there, just shopping. Like even at night, going to Walmart. Like here in certain places, you got to be lucky. In Fayetteville, North Carolina, Columbia, even in Charlotte. Charlotte's not a place where you see tons of bad women running around. Miami is an anomaly. New York is an anomaly. Even in New York, you have to go find baddies. Miami's it's unique in its own place. The only other place I think that replicates Miami is Houston, Texas.
Yeah. And also, I'll say this to another city, Vegas too. Vegas is on the rise on that as too.
Vegas.
But why you say Houston though? Why you say Houston though?
Yeah, I'm Houston. I never heard Houston. Go ahead.
Let me tell you why. I think, okay, here's the thing. We're known for having a lot of beautiful women overall.
Correct.
Overall, like Hispanics, a lot of Latin American here, and due to that fact, that trickles over to but in Houston, you can walk. You see, I forgot Atlanta. I didn't mention Atlanta's in its own realm. You can walk a couple blocks in Houston and see somebody with a big booty. You could turn left and see somebody with a big booty, or see some dark chocolate with some thick ass dress on. That's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's a lot of chicks with big booties big in education here. We're just known for beautiful women. Home of the big bucks is Houston and Atlanta. There's a lot of bad chicks in Atlanta, but big booty girls, not beautiful. There's a difference. And that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? I could say if you want to like run here, we run into beautiful women all day. Listen, our average here is bad somewhere else.
True. That's true. He's right. There's no debate there. You're right. Our average here is bad somewhere else. That's facts.
And it don't matter where you go in Miami. They are everywhere in Miami. North End, you go North Miami, Brickell, downtown, South Beach, Hollywood. There are it's like every location you go, you'll see it. LA, certain locations you go, like Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, Santa Monica, yeah. But there are also certain places, you know, you go in LA, it's not like that.
Well, that's pretty much it. We reached our mark. Guys, thank you for listening. People that was on the chat on all different platforms. We talking about Twitch, Facebook. We ain't going live on Instagram, but we'll go live on Instagram on Fridays. YouTube. Everybody who's listening, thank you for like, sharing, subscribing, and hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Thank you for joining for this great topic. I ain't gonna lie, this was very interesting. I'm not used to this type of. You actually use a movie to portray real life, and which is really good. I think that movie did shows a lot of jewels. And I don't know. We mentioned the aspect of the dragon and the donkey. Eddie Murphy character and the donkey too. Remember, the dragon is way out of the donkey element, but yet he settled down. You're like, you know what? We end up sitting down and having fun. And mind you, the dragon is longer than the donkey. You get what I'm saying? So that's something to think about, because we always talk about height, quote unquote, height matters and this and that. So it kind of shows you that height really doesn't matter. So guys, let us know what you think, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate you guys' time. You know, thank you for tuning in to K Culture Radio. We over and out. Peace.
Peace.